It is literally a hair wash day. I was not planning on filming today at all, but Spirit came knocking at my door and told me that I have to sit down and share this message. And that's because you are going through a massive transformation right now. Maybe you know that you're going through a big transformation. You can feel things shifting and changing around you. Maybe you're experiencing a career change, a change in your relationships, or you're moving, or maybe nothing is actually changing in your external environment, but you can just feel that there is a transformation brewing underneath the surface. And I'm here to confirm and validate for you that that is exactly what is happening. Energy is shifting right now, and we are going through a rebirth, a renewal, and a reset. So you might be wondering what exactly is shifting for you. And I haven't seen anyone else put this into words, which is probably why I'm so guided to share this message today. Basically, what is shifting is your old mechanisms for control are no longer going to be working. What that means is that perhaps you have been really hard on yourself in the past. Perhaps you have been your own, inner judge, inner critic. You've always been so incredibly tough on yourself all the time in order to get things done and be where you need to be, etc., etc. And now that's no longer working anymore. You've outgrown those methods. Those methods are not going to work for you. And you might notice this because you might realize that the harder you are on yourself, you don't necessarily achieve more. You don't necessarily have more energy. You don't necessarily feel better. It's actually the opposite. When we are so incredibly hard on ourselves and when we are trying so hard to control our emotions, to control our mindset, to be in control, we are eating away at ourselves, and this is slowly exhausting us. Maybe you've been feeling it and wondering what that feeling is, wondering why you continuously find yourself feeling burnt out or feeling low energy, and what exactly it is. And so often it is literally the dialogue that we are having in our own mind. So this is a time that is naturally shifting for you. There's nothing that you have to do. It is going to start to naturally shift for you. And you might be feeling the growing pains of outgrowing those old mechanisms of control, those old inner dialogues and things like that. You might be feeling ready to adopt some new internal dialogues, some new things that you tell yourself, ways that you encourage yourself, ways that you actually are your best friend as opposed to your worst enemy and your biggest critic. This is the time that all you have to do is just get curious about what it would sound like to be kinder to yourself. What would it sound like to talk to somebody who, let's say there's a 6-year-old little girl who's saying these things about herself in front of you? What would you say to her? If your best friend was saying that, what would you say to them? This is just the time to start practicing talking to yourself in a kinder and gentler and more compassionate way. You are going to be so glad that you did this. This is one of those things that you're not going to get a cookie, you're not going to get a sticker. Maybe other people aren't going to immediately come up to you and be like, wow, I saw how you just rewired your own internal dialogue and you're doing such a good job. You are not going to get the immediate satisfaction from doing this, but it is going to pay off for you in the long run forever. And people are going to start recognizing it right away. When people start to be their own best friend, other people around you, even people that you've known your whole entire life, I've had clients do one session and their mom, their partner, their siblings, people in their family will be like, oh my God, you're just glowing. You seem amazing. You look amazing. All of these different things just from doing that one single session of rewiring our own subconscious mind and rewiring our internal dialogue. This is how empowering it can be. And when we do these things, we also can notice a shift in our physical body as well. I've seen so many people overcome chronic illness symptoms by rewiring our subconscious. I've also seen people just start to lose weight. if you have been in a weight loss plateau, if you have been insecure about your body or struggling with your physical body and feeling confident in your physical body, it's probably because your body is a reflection of holding on to all of this stress, all of this energetic debris that we weren't even aware of. And by simply starting to rewire our mindset and by simply starting to be our own best friend, we actually start shedding unwanted weight or unnecessary weight. And for so many of my clients, I've literally witnessed massive body transformations with little to no change in our diet and little to no change in our exercise. This is how powerful our subconscious mind and our internal dialogue actually is. So if you care about being healthy, if you care about being in your hot girl energy, about glowing up, about living your dream life, about being someone that you are proud to be, then you will start caring about how you talk to yourself. That is the foundation for your health. There is no amount of yoga classes, there's no amount of Pilates, there's no amount of juice cleanses that can counteract the things that you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis. The way that you rush from appointment to appointment, that you never have a moment for yourself, that you only have time for yourself late at night and you're doing revenge bedtime procrastination just so that you can have a few moments just to decompress. There is no amount of health practice that's going to counteract those behaviors. But you can stop doing those behaviors by simply changing the way that you talk to yourself. And I know that some of you are probably going to be looking at me right now like I'm a complete crazy person, like I'm so out of touch, like none of these things are real. But I promise you, I've witnessed this happen in myself, and I've witnessed this happen in thousands and thousands of other people. When you start speaking more kindly to yourself, it feels like you have more time in the day. It feels like you have more energy. Suddenly you go from being someone who's like, oh my God, I can't ever imagine going to the gym after work, or ever imagine like going to the park and playing frisbee with my kids, like I'm always so tired, to being like, oh, like I really want to do that all of a sudden. It can be instantaneous. All it takes is you realizing that you're going through this transformation and deciding that you are not going to be just like, I'm picturing like a horse, like a runaway horse, and you're like the horse is running and you're just like barely hanging on, like falling off. It's completely out of control. It's time to sit up. Like that's all you have to do. Sit up and pick up the reins. I used to train horses and I used to train people how to ride. And so often what you think is completely out of control and what is the end of the world, you literally just need to take a deep breath and sit up, and you got this. And it's going to be so much easier. And you're not even going to remember that rough time that you were having before. So yes, there's a lot there. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and so we can keep the conversation going over there. What's resonating with you? What is really speaking to you? What is sparking your interest and your curiosity? And let's continue on with this beautiful reading. Now, I can guess that you've probably been trying to be your own best friend and speak more kindly to yourself for a while now. But trying to reprogram our mindset on our own can feel like an impossible feat. It doesn't have to though. I created the Temple of Earth Wisdom, which is our app where you can access our complete library of subconscious reprogramming audios, different practices that can instantly shift your energy and your mindset for good. Whether you have 5 minutes or 50 minutes, you can find a practice that can allow you to literally wake up feeling like your best self, feeling motivated to be kind to yourself, feeling naturally compassionate with yourself, and becoming even more magnetic and confident in yourself. So I invite you to join our Temple of Earth Wisdom. All you have to do is check it out in the description box down below and get started with your free trial over there. Now let's pull our final cards for your transformational reading. We have the calm in the storm. So often when we're going through a big transformation or a big life change or our basic ways that we speak to ourselves, that we think of ourselves, our self-identity, when all of these things are changing, it can truly feel like a storm. You can feel so dysregulated. And this is what a spiritual awakening can feel like. It sounds like, ooh, a spiritual awakening, rainbows, butterflies, all of the good sparkly things. But actually going through an awakening process is the process of awakening is becoming aware of things that you weren't previously aware of. And realizing things can be a huge shock to our system. It can literally be a storm for your nervous system. So all you have to do through this transformational process is truly remain calm, protect your peace, remind yourself that you are going to be okay, that everything is happening for you and for your greatest good. Remind yourself of all of the resources that you have flowing around you, available for you to use at absolutely any time. You are not in lack. You are not in scarcity. You do not have to be a victim to your circumstances. You can create your own calmness. Sometimes when we're really, really going through it, and if you guys don't know, I started my spiritual journey at 18 years old when I was diagnosed with PTSD, and I had non-stop panic attacks. And I would consider that to be the freaking storm. Really going through it, having no control of your emotions, your mind, your physical body, being constantly hospitalized because you are under such a high level of stress and anxiety. If that's not a storm of energy, then I don't know what is. And when we're going through these storms, it is so helpful to be able to remind ourselves that by simply remembering to breathe, you are gaining soul wisdom. You are growing through this. You are calming down your nervous system. You are gaining higher and higher levels of resilience. You don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to be able to make sense of everything. It doesn't mean that you never ever will, but I'm so grateful that during my panic attack, I gave myself the permission to just focus on my own resilience. If I could go on a walk that day, that was success for me. If I could, the little things were success for me. I changed what the goal was. I met myself where I was at, and I rewarded myself and I celebrated myself, and I told myself that I was successful every single time I took a small step in a healthier direction. This is what it is to build up resilience. This is what it is to be calm. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know how things are going to work out for you in the future. All you get to do is remind yourself that right now you are doing the absolute best that you can do. And when you learn better information, you'll do better, because that's the type of person that you are. And you are an amazing person and a good person and a value to this world. You are a unique child. I am a unique child of the universe. Perfectly me, exactly as I am meant to be. You are perfect exactly as you are. If this message has resonated with you, I encourage you to give this video a thumbs up, to make sure that you are subscribed, and to also join our community where you can get personalized guidance on your spiritual journey. We have live Q&As, as well as our entire library of practices to support you in your evolution, feeling like your best self, and literally waking up in your highest timeline. I'll see you inside, and I'll see you in our next video.